Released Israeli hostage, Or Levy, who spent 491 days in captivity, was finally reunited with his family on February 8, 2025, at an Israeli military facility near Gaza's border. The heartwarming yet emotional scene was captured as Levy, looking visibly frail and exhausted, walked through the hall of the facility, surrounded by army personnel. As he saw his brother Michael, the two rushed toward each other, embracing with tears streaming down their faces. Michael softly whispered, "You're okay. It's over. It's over." Levy's father then joined the emotional reunion, wrapping his arms around his son, and Michael reassured him again, saying, "Mother is also here." Moments later, Levy's mother joined the embrace, uttering, "My soul, we missed you so much." The reunion was a long-awaited moment after a harrowing period of captivity that had seen Or Levy starved and weakened. Or Levy's harrowing journey began on October 7, 2023, when Hamas launched a deadly attack on Israel. Levy, 34, was attending the Nova Music Festival with his wife, while their 2-year-old son was with his parents in central Israel. As the attack began, Levy and his wife sought shelter in a concrete bomb shelter, but tragedy struck. His wife was killed, and Levy was taken hostage by Hamas. In a twist of fate, Levy was released in a deal with Hamas alongside 2 other Israeli hostages, 56-year-old Ohad Ben Ami and 52-year-old Eli Sharabi. Their appearance, frail, pale, and visibly weakened by the months of captivity, shocked those who watched their release live on TV. The emotional scenes left Israelis reeling as they saw the 3 men, barely able to stand, being handed over to the Red Cross after being paraded on stage by armed, masked Hamas gunmen. While the sight of their physical condition was deeply troubling, it was also a symbol of hope, a long-awaited reunion after 491 days of unimaginable suffering. These 3 men, who had endured more than a year of captivity, were released as part of a larger ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas to end 15 months of war in Gaza. In return, Israel released 183 Palestinian prisoners, many of whom had been convicted of involvement in deadly attacks that claimed the lives of dozens of people. But the pain wasn't just in the eyes of the hostages. The families left behind also bore the weight of the violence and loss. Eli Sharabi, whose captivity had begun on October 7, 2023, when Hamas militants kidnapped him from his home in Kibbutz Be'eri, faced the devastating reality that his wife and 2 daughters had been killed in the attack. It remains unclear whether Sharabi was ever made aware of the death of his family members while in captivity. Tragically, his brother Yosef Sharabi was also killed while in Hamas captivity. Meanwhile, Ohad Ben Ami's reunion was equally emotional. Like Sharabi, he too had been abducted from Kibbutz Be'eri. His wife, Raz Ben Ami, was released in the first truce deal between Israel and Hamas in late 2023, but Ohad's journey back to her was long and painful. Upon his release, the two shared a touching moment, embracing as they stood together at the military facility. As he held his wife, Raz exclaimed, "I can't believe it, my sweetie. You're handsome. You're handsome. I love you. How much I missed you." Ben Ami's emotional return continued with a video call to his 3 daughters and his mother, who were waiting for him in a hospital in Tel Aviv. His daughters' faces lit up as they spoke to their father, each of them telling him how much they missed him and how much they loved him. One of his daughters, Ella, called her father the strongest man in the world, while his wife sat beside him, tears in her eyes. For Ben Ami, this moment was the end of 491 days of anguish, but the joy of seeing his daughters again filled his heart with happiness. "Yes, I love you," he told his daughters on the call. "Look at those girls. Happiness, you're bringing me happiness." As the families celebrated, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed his shock at the condition of the released hostages. He said the frail appearances of the 3 men would be addressed and their ordeal would not be forgotten. The images of the men, so visibly weakened after months of captivity, underscored the horrors they endured, but also served as a symbol of survival and hope. Their release also marks a significant chapter in the ongoing efforts to end the violent conflict between Israel and Hamas. This historic release highlighted the suffering of all involved, but it also underscored the resilience of families who endured the anguish of waiting for their loved ones to return home. For Or Levy, Ohad Ben Ami, and Eli Sharabi, the emotional reunions with their families marked the end of a painful chapter, but their recovery and healing have only just begun. The families and their stories, told through tears, hugs, and video calls, reflect the deep emotional toll of the conflict, yet also the strength and hope that emerge in the face of the most harrowing adversity. These three hostages are now home, but their journey, and the journey of their families, is far from over. As they move forward, they do so as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable hardship.